James here from goodguitarist.com, and today I'm going to show you how to take Landslide, which I taught last time, in a really basic way, just finger picking with a steady pattern the whole time. We're going to take that lesson and we're going to take it to the next level. We're going to add a bunch of embellishments and all of these things that I've pulled directly from the original recording. Now, if you listen to the original recording with headphones, you'll hear that there's two super clear guitar parts. One of them is doing just the rhythm thing like we did in the last tutorial, and I recommend being able to play that part first. You know, if you can proficiently get through it, making all the switches and keeping a steady pattern, then you'll be ready to do this. If not, I do recommend taking a moment and brushing up on that. I'll put a link for that down below. Anyways, that's what you would hear in the right ear of your headphones. In the left ear, you would hear a bunch of embellishments like hammer-ons and little picking things. And in this lesson, I'm going to take some of that stuff and incorporate it into the rhythm part. I'm not going to show you exactly the two guitar parts. I've already shown one of them, but I'm going to show you how to incorporate all those cool bits like you just saw in the demonstration video. If you need any extra help with this stuff, I have a premium finger picking course that I just released we cover this stuff about halfway through the course, and it goes even further than that. Starts way simpler. And I have my free ebook. I have the chord chart for the simple version of Landslide plus all of these intermediate upgrades. That's available on my Patreon, so if you need help following along, you can also get that. And one last thing, if you want to play along with the original recording, you have to put a capo on the 3rd fret. For the sake of this lesson, just in case you don't have a capo, and to make everything super simple, I'm going to remove my capo and we're going to play it in the open position. Just put a capo on the 3rd fret when you want to play along with the original recording later. Anyways, in order to upgrade our simple fingerstyle arrangement, the first thing we have to add goes like this. Now before we really get into it, let's place our fingers. We're going to put these 3 fingers on the thinnest 3 strings, and then our thumb is going to deal with the 3 thicker strings. So the song starts off with the same chord progression 9 times in a row. This is the 9th time. We start off on our C chord. Our index finger is going to be up because we're going to do a hammer-on. We pluck the A and B strings together with our thumb in middle, and we hammer on 1 and. So that's the first bit, just try it a whole bunch, 1 and. And then from there, we're going to be alternating our thumb between those 2 strings. We're going to go thumb, ring, thumb, middle, thumb, index. And our thumb's alternating between those 2. So ring, middle, index. And I recommend just pausing the tape and just taking a look at it and seeing how it all relates to the thumb, because the thumb is super steady. It's just going 1, 2, 3, 4. And between some of the thumb strokes, we have to pluck with our fingers. And with the very first thumb stroke, we pluck at the same time. So just take that into account and just work through that first little bit. And the rest of this will be pretty straightforward. We're going to switch to G over B now, and the pattern's going to be pretty much the same. The first 2 motions are different, however. It goes like this. So thumb and middle together, and then index, and then it's the same. Thumb, ring, thumb, middle, thumb, index, as your thumb alternates between those 2 strings. So do that one a few times. And then we move on to A minor, and that's just like the C chord, except we're on an A minor, but everything else is the same. The hammer-on is with the same finger, the picking's with the same fingers, everything's the same. So work on each of those chords, and when you're ready, we can put them together nice and slow. 3 and 4 and. And now this leads us into the transition, which is also going to be a little bit different. It goes like this. So it starts off the same way, C, for B. And here it's a little bit different. On our A minor 7 chord, which is just A minor but with one less finger, start off with a hammer-on, and then thumb, middle, thumb, index, thumb, index. Just get that picking part, the ending bit. That whole measure. And then we switch to D7 over F sharp, but here we're gonna have to lift our first finger, so that's kind of tricky. You have to lift up the whole chord shape and just get your middle finger down to here, and then you go. And now here, we're gonna put down these 2 fingers to make a D over F sharp, and we just go. Just finish off our pattern the same way we did with A minor. So. The A minor 7 plus that all together. So just take your time with that, and when you're ready, we'll play that transition together nice and slow. 3 and 4 and. And now from this position, we can work our way into the chorus. We're gonna switch to a G chord, but we're gonna leave our first finger down. See, the chord we were just playing, D7 over F sharp, we had our first finger on right where it needs to be for our G sus chord. And it goes like this. So I start off thumb and middle, and I do a pull off. And now I continue thumb, ring, thumb, middle, thumb, index, just like we were doing for the verse. So. The only difference is our thumb is changed to this string, and we're starting off with a pull off instead of a hammer-on, but the pattern should feel the same. Now for this next measure, the pattern is totally different, and for me this is the hardest part of it, to keep the rhythm feeling super tight. So there we're playing D over F sharp, and we pluck thumb and middle together, then index, thumb, index. Simple enough. Then we switch to D7 over F sharp, which is super easy, just take off your pinky. Put that together. And now let's put that together with the G chord. 2, 3, 4. Cool. Now from here, we're going to leave our first finger down, switch to an E minor shape, and we have to do a pull off. Just like with G, same deal, except now we're on an E minor shape. And it's exactly the same as G. And we do that once. And then we do our regular pattern one time and then go. So for that, I just lift up my shape a little bit. I pluck the A string and hammer on, so. And then I use my index and middle. I kind of break the rules, I move them over. Just for a nice smooth riff. 3, 4. Just do that a whole bunch of times, get used to that riff. Then we add the picking to it. 2, 3, 4. Pattern, riff. Let's go back one more measure and add up all the E minor stuff. Coming from a D7, we go. next 4 measures of the chorus are just the transition, which we've already practiced. So let's just recap from the start of the chorus and practice this whole thing together. 3 and 4 and. So I recommend going through all of that super duper slowly, 1 measure at a time, and then practice gluing it together, just like we did in this lesson. When you're ready to pop this into the original recording, it starts the 9th time that you repeat the verse progression. We would do exactly what I showed you, and then the next verse, I would go back to being simple. Once you take it up and start doing all the intricate stuff, come back down, give the listener some contrast. And then when you're about to get into the chorus again, that's when you can start doing, and getting super cool. And that's it. This one's not too tricky. There are a couple, things that might kind of twist up your fingers a bit, but it's great practice and really good to deviate from just using the same finger picking pattern the whole time and to add those embellishments. If you need any extra help, I have my free ebook, I have my Fingerstyle course, I have a bunch of tabs and charts on my Patreon that'll help you out with all this stuff. So please check out any of my resources if you'd like some extra help. Otherwise, have a good one and I'll see you soon.